How am I ever supposed to read another book? I'm distraught. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Reagan, and in today's vlog we are going to be reading House of Flame and Shadow together. It is finally release day. It's release day when I'm filming this clip. So much fun watching everybody get so excited about the release. I am patiently waiting on my Amazon pre-order to get here, but I am prepared, and I did pre-order the Kindle copy, which I am like midway through chapter 2. So if there is a spoiler, I will of course put a big warning. My camera is about to die and I don't have any more thoughts other than I've started it, and it is just so magical that I am back with these characters. I read House of Sky and Breath like 2 years ago, and it is just, it's time. I am going to keep reading, and I will of course update you. The day is here. Happy release day, everyone. I literally just lied to you because this vlog will be spoilers, because I have so many thoughts that I just cannot contain myself. I can't skirt around it. I need to like fully deep dive all of my thoughts with you guys. So if you have not read House of Flame and Shadow in its entirety, do not watch this video right now. You can come back and we can hang, but don't watch it yet, because I have so many things that I need to say and I just want to make this a spoiler vlog. So sorry that I lied. Here we go. Hello friends. It's Thursday. I haven't even read that much. I am only 20% into this book. I'm sad about it, okay? I am sad because I like had all these plans in my head. I was going to like binge this book and I was so excited, and yesterday was supposed to be an off day, and then it ended up not being an off day because I got called into some meetings. I had to do like case management stuff. So frustrating. So I am just now really getting into the book. I am 20% in. I'm on chapter 13. I'm 140 pages in. Absolutely loving it, of course. Like everything about this I love. Crescent City is my favorite series from Sarah J Maas. Like it definitely goes Crescent City, Throne of Glass, ACOTAR. I just love these characters. I love this world. I think that it is so fun and unique, and I love like the urban twist on it. I don't know why, but I'm obsessed with it. So also like Bryce is my girl. Like I love Bryce and I love Hunt. So this has just been so much fun to be back in. I am, however, annotating, which I think that you guys saw in like a previous clip maybe, that I have like a key for my annotations. My annotating style is genuinely like bare minimum. I don't have like any crazy process. It is taking me a little bit longer to get through this than if I was just like flying through it, because I am annotating, of course. How many times can I say the word annotating? Like I'm annoying myself. So I'm sorry. She's huge. Girly is thick, but we love her anyways. I'm kind of upset that we didn't get the purple though, because remember when everyone was thinking that this cover was gonna be purple? I kind of wish it was purple. I don't know why, but anyways, tell me why I am eating up the fact that Nesta and Bryce are running around in the tunnels together. My two favorite queens are literally hanging out and my world is made. Like I love Nesta so much. I love Bryce so much. I just knew that like they would need to be friends. So I'm glad that Miss Sarah Jana also felt that way and needed them to like have their little moments together. I don't know how this ends. They could hate each other, but right now I am living in a world of bliss, knowing that they hang out and that like they have this like funny banter back and forth just because of like they both kind of have the same personality. I have nothing planned for the rest of the day, so I will be sitting down to read this book. Alright friends, it is now Friday. I am 30% into House of Flame and Shadow. I'm on chapter 24, which is page 245, and I have so many thoughts that I need to talk about. First up, it hurts my heart for how Rune is feeling. We see Lydia going back and forth. I know that she is crafting this plan to try and help Rune and Hunt escape, and she wants to be part of that, like helping them get out and creating a diversion. But it just still physically pains me that like I have to read these scenes where Rune is so heartbroken about it. And there's this one scene in particular where Lydia sneaks in to see Rune, and she basically tells him that she's finding a way to get him out. He just comes back and is like, I don't care what you're doing, like I'm only here for other people. He even like makes a statement, how dare it be her that's hurting, when it was his heart that she broke basically. And then Rune tells Lydia that she is dead to him, and I'm just like, my sweet baby Rune, like oh my gosh, my heart hurts for him. Also, it is so incredibly painful to read about Hunt and Rune when they're being chained up, because it is very gruesome at some points, and I care so much about those characters that it is very hard at times to read about them being tortured and about like all this gruesome stuff that's happening with them. I don't know why it's impacting me as much as it is, but it is so hurtful to me. Like it's so painful to read, so it's terrible. And also we just see a lot of Hunt pining for Bryce, and there's this one point where he is like, all I can think about is Bryce and my future with her, and like I wanted to have beautiful winged children. Like, oh my gosh, like I could cry right now, okay? I'm in a fragile state apparently, and I feel like I could cry. The last piece of information that I like wanted to mention, because hello, this is probably the biggest piece of information, the fact that Baxian literally ate off Rune's arm or his hand. Like, I'm sorry, what? I read that and I was like, surely they're not gonna go through with that. And they did. And Baxian literally ate his hand off. And I know that they will like do anything to try and escape, but that was just not on my bingo card, and I just cannot believe that that actually happened. And I was reading it and it was just jaw on the floor, could not believe what was going on, which I feel like that's pretty mild in an SJM book, and I am terrified for what that means for the rest of this book, because I have a feeling that if I think that that was crazy, my mind's about to be blown, or I'm about to be seriously hurt, one or the other, or both. I cannot wait to continue reading this. I want to get to 50% tonight before I go to bed, because I want to try and finish the book tomorrow. So I will just update you guys on the 50% mark, because I feel like that's a good place to check in. I'm going to jump back in. I am with Bryce and Nesta and Azriel in the tunnel still. We heard a lot of Celine's history and Thea's history. We're learning a lot. I'm excited. I'm terrified for how this will wrap up as well. So I will see you guys at the 50% mark. I went to Scooters, which is okay. Okay. We are 50% into House of Flame and Shadow. We did it. I made it to 50% last night before I ended up falling asleep. I woke up this morning early and I went and got a raspberry mocha. So I am ready to sit down for the rest of the day and try and finish this book. It is literally disgusting, raining outside. I'm in my comfy sweat set, and I'm just ready to sit down and try and finish this book. I definitely do have a lot of thoughts, some good, some bad. So I figure we should talk about them now, just because I feel like things are about to get even crazier. So first thing that I will say that is just a thought that I have that I just don't know if I enjoy. So I am obviously at the part where Bryce is back in her world. She's back with Hunt and Rune, and I just feel like her leaving Nesta and Azriel and the Akatar world was so easy. Like, she was only there for 5 days and had no idea how she had been able to transport to this world, but then after 5 days she was like, open the portal and like let me go back home, and then she just so easily went back home. And I just don't know how I feel about that. I also really don't know how I feel about such a short portion of this book being with Nesta and Azriel. Like, I really hope that there is that connection later on in the book, because we haven't seen them since. I don't know. I'm just gonna be upset if that doesn't like come full circle and that they're not included again. Also, Hunt and Rune are out. I am so excited about that. I'm excited that Bryce was able to find them. Again, so weird to me that like it was so easy for her to just like teleport to Hunt once she got back to her world. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, and that could totally be the case. Like, I could just be so stupid right now missing something. I also forgot one piece of information that I wanted to talk about, and that is the fact of Ethan literally killing Sigrid Is that how you say her name? I want to say that that's how you say her name, but he didn't mean to. And whenever they were fighting, because the Viper Queen like told them to fight, he basically accidentally killed her. And now he is in the House of Flame and Shadow. Jessica's there, which was just crazy to me that she popped up. I loved seeing that. So Ethan and Jessica are together, and Jessica told him if he works with her, then she can get him somebody who's a necromancer to help him bring Sigrid back from the dead. I mean, I know that like Sigrid's pretty important, but I just wonder more of Ethan's motivations behind it, and also like what will be her part later on in the book. I feel like I just have no idea where we're going. We could go so many different directions, and some of the theories that were like going on in my head are just completely disproven. So I don't know where we will be going. Also, Lydia having sons. I was not expecting that. That was really interesting to find out, and I felt really bad for her though that she was forced to give them up, and now she's not even allowed to see them anymore. Like, she just kind of has to keep leaving, because I know that's probably devastating for her as a mother. I felt really bad about that for Lydia, but like I cannot believe that she has sons. And like, who's the father? So many questions, but I needed to input this clip because I had forgotten to talk about it earlier. Alrighty, hello. Let's rapid fire this. I am on part 3. I will definitely be finishing today, but I wanted to do a few like rapid fire. Here's some thoughts, here's some things going on, and I just kind of like give you guys an update. So like I said, I am on part 3, the Ascend. Terrified for what that means actually. But here are a few of the things that have happened so far. We have learned that Hunt now knows like where he came from and his lineage, which is a big question that we were kind of having for the first 2 books. So I'm glad that that was answered. So Hunt is part angel, part demon, and I think that's really cool actually. I like love that that is his lineage. I think that that's so fun, and I don't know, Hunt obviously wasn't super excited about it when he first found out, and it was kind of jarring for him. I just like think it's really fun. And also Bryce and Hunt have made it to hell. Also, biggest and most important thing, Autumn King is dead. Hands up, everybody say hallelujah, because I am so glad that Autumn King is dead. Rune killed him. Rune literally impaled him. I am going to literally marathon the rest of this. One really big question that I have is I am very interested to see if Bryce is going to give the truth teller back to Azriel. Like, I would assume that she would, but is there some other deeper meaning behind the truth teller where like she is going to keep it, or is she gonna give it back? I don't know. I'm just not 100% sure how that is going to play out. That's kind of rapid fire what's going on. Everyone wish me luck. Okay guys, we are on chapter 82, which is page 693. I am like almost in tears. This is the first time in the book where I have almost had tears. Bryce has seen Nesta again. It was literally for like a split second, but she got the mask from Nesta from the Dread Trove, and she's going to try and use it to kind of fight off the Asteri, and Nesta reluctantly gave it to her, but Bryce has it. Bryce also left her parents in Prithian with Nesta. I'm like, girl, what are we doing there? What are we doing? But at the end of chapter 81, Ethan is with the Underking. It literally says Ethan turned and there was Connor in the doorway. So distraught. Then it just makes me literally want to cry even harder, because Ethan is like, I miss you so much, and like, I just need my brother here. Too much is happening. So we are down to the wire and things are about to get crazy. So I just needed to do that quick check-in, but no words at this moment in time. They are going into fight mode, and Hunt literally walks up and his Umbra Mortis helmet and suit is sitting there. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Bryce is literally dead. Jessica freaking steps in and she's like, I will do a trade. I will trade my life for hers. And then Hunt's like, I hope that you find peace. And Jessica says, I've already found it thanks to you both. I'm like literally sweating. Like, I'm gonna have to take my sweatshirt off. I'm genuinely sweating from the inside out because I am so scared for what's about to happen. I am on page 802. Everyone pray for me. Okay. Alrighty friends, we have now finished House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J Maas. I cannot believe that we are finally here 2 years later, and I've already finished the newest release from Miss Sarah Janet. I'm so sad because I know that she has confirmed that there is going to be another Crescent City book, but she said it's going to be like a far, far away. So that's just so upsetting that like this is the last one that we are going to have for I don't know how long. But I also needed just a little bit of time to like sit on my rating and figure out how I wanted to rate this book, because while the last like 20% of this book, 5 stars, chef's kiss, amazing, there was like one thing that just kind of bothered me, and it bothered me enough to make this book a 4.5 star rating. So that is what I have landed on, and we will talk about it, we'll wrap it up, and we'll discuss. So obviously we saw a lot happen in the end. The last clip that you just saw of me literally sobbing my eyes out is from the last like 10% or like the last maybe 3 chapters of the book. And that is because when we see Bryce have just some final goodbyes, like when she does die, we see that she ends up being able to see like Danica and Lahaba and the wolf pack like in the afterlife, and they like are waving goodbye to her. I'll cry again thinking about it. It was just such a sweet, sweet moment. I'm so glad that that was included, and I'm glad that that's how we ended, with Bryce being able to like wave to her friends and like see her friends. So I am so glad that that was included. I'm also so glad that Jessica ended up leaving Bryce Griffin Antiquities, because that's also how we started Crescent City, is like seeing Bryce like working there and how important it was, and I just loved that aspect of the first book. So I'm really, really glad that Jessica left Griffin Antiquities to Bryce, because I think that's so on brand. I think it's so much fun. I just like wouldn't have wanted those parts any other way. We also saw Lydia. Now this is a Throne of Glass spoiler, so if you haven't finished Throne of Glass, do not watch this part. But we see Lydia like protecting her sons. We see her trying to get her sons back, and Pollux is there, and you know, all of that's going down. And she says Bran, right, one of her sons, and she's like, oh, Brannon. And then when he's like, who is that? Like, what's that from? And she says, oh, an old lineage, or like an old heritage, whatever she says. And then she uses her freaking fire magic. Are we related to Aelin? Like, are we a descendant of Aelin? Because like Brannon, Aelin, and her fire magic, I'm like, are we, is that a nod? Is that gonna come back up in later books? Like, oh my gosh. Absolutely love this book. I loved being back in this world. I love being back with these characters. It was absolutely fantastic. Had the best time of my life. The only thing that I ended up docking off half a point for was the fact that while I do really love Bryce in this book and in this world, there was like this one specific part of the book where it just didn't feel like Bryce. Like, it felt a little out of character for Bryce. And that was when we see Hunt getting out of the dungeons, and he keeps going back and forth. Like, he keeps asking Bryce, like, are you sure that you want to do this? Because if we do this and we risk the lives of a bunch of other people, then we've kind of put a lot of people in jeopardy, and like, why not just kind of retreat? Like, I don't know, try and get away from the Asteri, just like, and I think that is totally valid, because he literally was so stressed out and he was so traumatized from the dungeons, and also like from his experience with the Asteri. And I thought that it was out of character for Bryce to like really brush that aside and like put it on the wayside, because she just didn't really seem to ever address that. Now we do get an apology from her in the end, but still, I was just very, that was a little bit shocking for me, because it just felt a little out of character for Bryce. Like, I thought that she would have been the one to, you know, sit with Hunt and be like, let's talk about it. Like, I know that you just went through so much crap, and I know that this is scary, but like, here's what we can do, right? And that just never happened. And so a little bit of like some justice for Hunt there, because I feel like he needed to go through some healing. Like, poor man was traumatized, and I just don't feel like he got that fully. And so that was just a half a star off. It's not like super bothersome or anything, but like, it just really fell out of character for Bryce to not really acknowledge that, and to just, every time he brought it up, she kept brushing it off. So that was my only complaint, nothing serious. But absolutely loved this book. I'm excited to see like maybe how Lydia could be in future books. Like, is she related to Aelin? Oh, we also saw that Bryce did give the mask and the truth teller back to Azriel. That scene was so heartwarming. I was literally sobbing because Nesta and Cassian and Azriel are there, and Ember and Randall are just like sitting there eating chocolate cake with all of them, and Ember at the end is like, I am so glad that I met you, Nesta, and they just like share the sweetest moments ever. It was like the best crossover banter. I absolutely loved it. I'm glad that Nesta and Azriel like made an appearance, and I'm glad that it came full circle and that Azriel got the truth teller back and Nesta got the mask back, because that was one thing that I obviously was worried about that you guys saw. I am glad that the crossover didn't take up the biggest portion of the book, because this is still a Crescent City book and I love these characters and I like wanted to feel like I was still in Crescent City and not in ACOTAR world. So I'm glad that the crossover wasn't a huge portion of the book, but I was like very confused at first as to like, why are we only seeing them for like a chapter or two and then not seeing them for like the rest of the book. But then it all came full circle, it all made sense, and I love how it wrapped up. I love how it ended. A nice big happily ever after. Like, couldn't have asked for anything more, because these characters really deserved some peace after what they went through. I'm just so sad that it's over. I'm so sad that I don't have another Sarah J Maas book to look out for. Alrighty, so that is the end of this vlog. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. As always, my Goodreads and my Instagram are linked down below, and you can go follow me on there. Let's be friends, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.